everyone, I'm LK and welcome to this week's video. In this week's video, I will be showing you guys some concept sketches for my series that I plan to start, the NeoArcana Chronicles. Now, to kind of give you guys like a general idea of kind of what this will kind of be about, or these sets of stories, is kind of what it will be. So there will be multiple different story or book series on different characters and groups of people within the world and universe I have created for these people. Granted, it is still very much in the rough stages, and I wanted to bring you guys along to kind of experience getting to where I want to be with that. So basically, the kind of inspiration for the NeoArcana Chronicles was more of a fantasy / supernatural meets cyberpunk / like tech, and like kind of like what kind of brought it about really is I really like fantasy stuff, but I also really like cyberpunk and the neon lights and that kind of stuff, and I kind of wanted to see something where it was like both put together. So this is kind of like my way of doing that. Now that you kind of know the inspiration behind why I wanted to make this, I want to go ahead and get right over to the basic layout of the map of the city and the districts, along with like travel routes, and probably because I do want to do some like scenes in the sewer system, so I need to do some research on sewer systems and their layouts and how they look and operate, along with like putting it down and actually marking out where I want to put the sewers. But also, I do have bridges from between the, because how it is basically most of the districts 1 through 5 is on the main island, and then there's that little island in between, and then the other district is, or the 6th district is on that separate island, because it's more of like the getaway entertainment. This is like high class type of like establishments with like kind of like, because of course there's going to be like clubs and bars and like karaoke places and stuff like that. It's kind of like the place that people go when they want to get away, is kind of the whole feel behind the entertainment district, you know? And so that's kind of why it's set off in its own like little things. It's also supposed to be like a resort area as well. For the district placements, I had actually talked with my co-writer, because I do have a co-writer. The basic idea is mine, but my hubby has been helping me with ideas, and he actually ended up helping me like place all the districts. We did feel that because the main district, where the main antagonist is going to be, is going to run, is the actual big corp, but it's actually where a lot of the hospitals and those kind of corporations are, with cafes and some living, of course. But that's kind of where we wanted that. And then like the next biggest, so that way we had like more of an area of the city that was more for residential, so it's more like coffee shops and stuff like cafes and things that they can do on the weekend, like movie theaters or gaming areas, stuff like that, you know. And kind of like more of the shopping is like big malls, like industries, like go into the store, not to your like local like small supermarket on the side and stuff like that. For like the transport, I have like trains. I'm planning out a bus station, kind of routes and everything. And for like the inspiration and how I looked into how bigger cities would have that was actually I looked at like places like New York and Las Vegas and the big cities like that, and see that they do have like bus transportations. So I don't have it quite on there yet, but I do plan to add that. This was kind of like something I did just at the top of my head to kind of get the idea down on the paper, or well, screen, my canvas, as they say on Procreate. Now that's kind of all that we've got down for the basic map. Now I'm gonna kind of move on to something that's not exactly on the map, because this would be something that's more underground, and this was kind of one of the first ideas that I had for how it could kind of show the difference of how people were treated. But this place is kind of called the Pit, and this is kind of like a basic, really rough kind of outline and sketch of different areas in the basic outline. I do want to go back later and refine some of it, and when I mean later, I mean at a different point in time. And that the reason why the place is kind of there, it's like a death battle arena that slaves and things are made to go in there, because there will be, like I said, a very big power indifference, and there will be like kind of like slavier in a way. And this is kind of how it's shown, because in the Pit it's known to be like more for like trading slaves or servants, because some are more luckier than others. And these were people that normally held abilities of magic or were creatures like demi-humans, kind of like, they would kind of look how my character, or how I look here, and basically it's not a very good place, and it's kind of meant to be that way. I didn't want it to be a happy place. I wanted this to kind of be like the darkness of what actually goes on in the city, you know? And you can see that I kind of did like the basic arena. There's also like a VIP area. I did at one point do a kind of like sketch from like looking in through like a door to see like this woman and her child. But that was like a VIP box in the pit is kind of what it was supposed to be, and kind of like an idea that sparked that I kind of just wanted to throw it out there. I never really finished that piece, but I do have the sketch up on my Instagram if you do want to go and see. There's also that way I knew what I was kind of talking about later on when I go to refine the sketches. I did also put where it like kind of shows like how they get in and like what is behind those walls, and the fact that there's like a bunch of cages and there's like people and chains and like, and basically how it's set up that there's like this chamber that they put them in before they send them out, you know, kind of like, I kind of took inspiration off of how like I've seen them do it in like old Roman movies that I've seen, or Roman based or Greece based, and even some other movies, and I thought for like a battle arena, and I thought that was cool, and that's kind of why I went with that idea. And basically in the story in and of itself, this place doesn't actually get shown until maybe like a little bit later on in the series, but there will be like, it will be alluded to, and it will be like shown in like flashbacks, kind of like quick scenes of not so good things or just memories like in general. But that's kind of like the premise of that, and when you actually finally get to see it, you're going to get to see it because there's going to be like a whole big thing. It's going to be like really cool. And that's kind of all I really have on that for now, without telling you guys like too much of what I plan to like do. I fear I'm spoiling it too much. So I'm gonna go right on ahead and hop right over to the next sketch concept. This concept is the hospital. I kind of wanted to really get the hospital down and kind of know what I wanted, because this is where the main antagonist is going to be. He owns the hospitals in the city. He kind of has a monopoly on them, and he like completely owns that entire district as well, and is like one of the people that sit at the committee, is what I'm gonna call it for now. And also because this is going to be a very big secondary place, or in this district in general, to kind of give context and story and everything goes that place in the hospital. So I kind of really wanted, and before I could even think about like the inside layout, I had to kind of think, okay, so what do I want the outside to look like, because that will definitely very much affect how I go about making a hospital, interior design and layout. There's also like secrets and like dark secrets that will unfold in this place as well as the story goes on and continues. But it's not going to be like all thrown out at you all in the beginning. And that's kind of what I wanted to have, and that's why also in this there is an underground section, and as you can see right now, I did do input that this is all underground. And kind of, there will be like a different layout, and I'm thinking, I don't think it's going to be right underneath the hospital, but there will be underneath the ground hospital, just for the fact that they need more room and stuff. But then it'll be somewhere off-site, kind of, and like say somewhere else, but we will kind of get there when we get there, you know. But I also kind of wanted this to be like a grandiose kind of place where it's very nice, very lavish, because that's kind of like what hospitals are. That way people feel comfortable, they're stylish and modern and sleek. But that, and then plus it's going to be like a main centerfold of what the actual like big core hospital district is going to be. And so that's why I wanted to kind of really stand out and really just be there and be like, yeah, this is kind of going to be like the main centerpiece of the city is kind of what I'm envisioning right now. But we will kind of see how that does work out. And I kind of also do plan on getting some extra buildings and stuff in there to make more of a hospital campus for a big city hospital. Because normally there's a few hospitals that are kind of connected together, and that's kind of part of the plan. I just haven't quite gotten that far, but that is kind of what I have on that. And so now I'm going to kind of go on to more of the caveats of what my story will kind of like be and withhold, and kind of like the audience group that it will be more aimed towards. Now that we're getting closer to the end of the video, I definitely wanted to say that the caveat is more of this will be for more mature audiences, and I will state that with every post and anything that I make of the series, just so that way people do not get, you know, confused thinking that it is a kid's show or a kid's comic or webtoon, because it's not, or like web comic, sorry, but it's not. I wanted to say thank you guys for watching this video all the way through and coming and seeing a bit of what I've been kind of working on behind the scenes for my personal project that I want to bring to you guys. And if you had fun watching this video, go ahead and hit that like button with a stylus so that way this can get out to more people that will enjoy this. And if you like what I do here, and if you like this video and can't wait to see more to come, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button with your stylus as well. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and see you in the next video. Bye-bye!